I got the power of a hurricane inside of me. Roadway, baby. Roadway. Natural born and brave. I'm a roadway.
I am going to die now. Unless death wants to fight. And I ask you for the last time to grant me my old power to make things happen.
Grandfather?
Am I still in this world?
Yes, Grandfather.
Hey. I was afraid of that. Well, sometimes the magic works, sometimes it doesn't.
In the Gray Growler, our 1950 Ford, Sister Bubbles and Brother Daffy and myself, Bingo, we would, Mom would, because we were so poor, every summer we had the same boring vacation. We would get a Big Blue, our tent, that we marked up with crayons, and we would head up the coast in the Gray Growler, and we would go all the way to the Redwood Forest, up Highway 1. And it was a thrill we looked forward to every summer. And finally, when I was surfing, which was fairly early on, by 1960-61, we were going up there with a surfboard. And every little cove I could find, I would go up there and surf. And it would be like 62 or 3 was the first time I surfed Steamer's Lane. And at that time, there was just a big rough rope and this very steep, rugged cliff. And it took 2 or 3 people to lift up a surfboard and bring it into the water. So there weren't too many people that were surfing by themselves because there was just no way to get in the water and no way to get down. Now it's all probably has an escalator for all I know. But I surfed Steamer's Lane, and it was pretty cool. It was kind of a mushy peak. But the place I fell in love with was Sewer at Pleasure Point. Pleasure Point had this long sweeping wall, and we would get up there and we would camp for a week up there. And whoa, more than a few times. I remember one time particularly, we got it on a 6, 7, 3, 4 foot overhead on the biggest set, some of the biggest surf I'd seen for a while in my life, as a kid, as a teenager. Still not driving a car, mind you, so I'm not 16 yet. And oh man, Pleasure Point when it's a couple feet overhead is I hadn't surfed Rincon yet or Malibu, but Pleasure Point was like heaven. And there was a place at the very end called Sewer Break, and literally gray sewer water was being emptied out into the break. And I don't know if it was secondary or tertiary, but all I know is all the local boys that surfed there, their hair looked like they'd peroxided it. It was, and in the week that I surfed there, my hair looked like it had been peroxided. I'm surprised I didn't die of some ungodly disease just back then, and that they would let them do that. But, well, you know, welcome to 1962 and Pleasure Point and a peak called the Sewer. The main peak at the Sewer, the farthest out one, was a wicked takeoff. And that's where I learned to take a wicked takeoff. Anybody that surfed it, you know what I'm talking about. When that's a couple feet overhead, that thing is coming at you straight and boom, boom. So I was starting to learn how to surf. I was starting to get it by 62, 63. And we were taking that gray growler up and down the coast and just having vacations and having just great family fun. And of course we would be going to Agate Street and Corona Del Mar too, in the gray growler. I was lucky by growing up in Altadena and eventually Pasadena. You could take Allen Street. Allen Street would go through South Pasadena, then it would go through San Marino, and it would end up at this place called the Huntington Museum. And for like a couple of quarters, I could take the bus down to the Huntington Museum and wander in it all day long, and then take the bus back home. And this is where I first saw William Blake etchings. I think they have one of the world's greatest collections of William Blake etchings there. And we were so poor, my mom would, what we would do is we'd go to the Griffith Observatory once a month to see whatever show they had in the planetarium, and we would regularly go to all of the museums. So we may have been poor, but I didn't know it. I thought I was growing up in Athens because my mom had such a keen sense for what true education is experience. And my mom was quick to take us there, make no judgments, not tell us what we were seeing, let us make our own value judgments of what we were seeing. And I bless her and I thank her for being the wonderful mentor and mother that she is.
From deep out in the sea, I got the power of a hurricane inside of me. Roadway, baby. Roadway. Natural born and bred.